Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I think tonight we're going to continue with our Minotaur Berserker. I was going to finish up with Zoot tonight, but it's getting a little late, and I know the Zoot run is going to be a fairly long one, so I'm going to put it off till tomorrow. And if we can find our Minotaur, we'll get started. I really should do this before I start recording. Here he is. Okay. So when we left off, we were looking for the entrance to the lair, and it appears we're only on dungeon level 6. We haven't made a lot of progress. Our skills are going up nicely. Our axes are at 12 and our armor is at 8.5. It might be time to turn on fighting for a little bit, and it's already at 3.6. I guess we started with that because I don't remember turning it on. So let's go down. There's Blork, the orc. First we're going to go and take out this hobgoblin, and we'll lure Blork in here. And when he gets close, we might as well go berserk and take him out. And rest up before anybody else comes. Okay, we found another unidentified scroll. Let's give it a read. And it was curse armor. That's okay for now. We don't plan on taking off the armor anytime soon. Apparently we have run run into a mummy face to face. I shouldn't have a problem taking him out, which I didn't, but the mummy has cursed my war axe now. If you have a weapon that's not sharp, like a staff, and you get cursed, you will not be able to cut up food. But I believe with an axe we can still chop up food. So it doesn't matter too much that our axe is cursed. And there's a ring. We're gonna get that. The best ring a Minotaur or a melee class can get is usually a Ring of Slaying. Those are awfully rare though. Let's identify this one, see what we have. Protection from cold? Well, that's better than nothing. And there's a cold monster right now, so we can try out our new ring. Okay, if you can see in his hand there, he's got some poison needles. We're going to duck around the corner and wait for him to come around, get into melee range with him, and once we did that, he pulled out his sword, and we can proceed to chop him up. And I'm forgetting to sacrifice corpses, aren't I? When you start to see these, a lot of animals around, you're getting close to the lair. Try on this amulet, but we don't know what it is. So let's put on the resist mutation. There are some amulets that are bad. I think it's actually just one, an amulet of inaccuracy. There's Edmund. He hits fairly hard, but he's usually found earlier in the dungeon. I don't think we'll have a problem with him. There's no need to go berserk. And he goes down easily. We didn't even get damaged. We'll continue on our merry way. I've pretty much gotten the sense that we're starting to get more powerful now, and I know that these enemies aren't going to prove much difficulty. The ogre here might damage me if he gets a lucky hit in, but we should be able to dispatch him easily. There we go. Again, it's just a matter of experience. You get to know which enemies will pose a problem at which levels. It becomes very intuitive after a while, really. A couple of orcs, we'll let them come at us. 3 orcs. And they're no problem at all. And I keep forgetting to sacrifice corpses. We'll be getting a gift from Trog fairly soon. Okay. This orc priest can smite us. He sees us. We're going to duck around the corner out of sight. And we'll just wait for him here. And let's eat him. He only gave us 1 chunk. If you press D, that's the drop menu. And if you press Shift 7 or the AND key, that will automatically select your chunks, and you can just drop them all. There's another ogre. We'll let him come to us. And there's Sigmund. He's turned invisible. The ogre has hit us. Sigmund is behind him somewhere. Sigmund can also reach over the ogre and hit us. So this is a good time to go berserk, especially considering we're going to have a difficult time hitting Sigmund when he's invisible. Okay. We are near starving, we're slow, and we're exhausted. Luckily the ogre is behind the hobgoblin, or the goblin there. So we're not going to kill the goblin, and we're just going to back up slowly and make for the staircase. At all times trying to keep the goblin between us and the ogre. And if we pull the goblin upstairs, it's no big deal. But that ogre could be difficult at that point, and we are forced now to eat a meat ration. I shouldn't have gone down that stairwell. I probably should have chosen another one to go down. But it worked out for me. The ogre missed, and we were able to dispatch him easily. And here's another ring. And I don't believe we have any scrolls of identify. We do not, but we do have an unknown scroll. We're going to try and read that. Scroll of teleportation. That is a valuable scroll. We're going to take off this unidentified ring and put the protection from cold back on. Always keep some scrolls of teleport with you. Okay, here's a ranged enemy. He doesn't see us yet. I'm going to move towards him to the north once. He saw us now, and now I'm going to duck around the corner here. And again, with centaurs like this, once you get in melee range, he's going to drop his bow and pull out whatever weapon he has, and he's far less effective with that than he is with his bow. So it's no problem to chop him down. A snake, we'll let him come to us. We don't want to get poisoned. If you do get poisoned and you're about to die, you can always activate Trog's Hand. That will regenerate you, and it will pretty much counteract the poison. And there's Dungeon 7 done. Down to Dungeon 8. Orcs. Okay, here's a tougher orc. Never back into an area where you haven't explored it, so we're going to back up to the north and channel him into this little hallway. I'm not sure what he's carrying there. I don't think he can evoke it to reach an extra space, so we're just going to wait. Oh, yes, he can. Okay, now we're going to attack. I should have backed off, but I didn't. That was foolish. So now it's time to quaff a potion. Those 5 inky potions, letter Q, have been tried by a monster. We are guessing that that is a heal wounds, so we're going to try that right now. It was potion of curing. That's not as good as healing, but it did heal us up a little bit. It gave us a little breathing room. We are going to go berserk. That's the safest thing to do in the situation. Okay, we're down to 14 hit points, but we should be able to take him out easily. And we did. But that was too close for comfort. I don't know what kind of weapon he had, but it was very effective. Aha, an Orcish Morningstar. And we missed our chances to sacrifice those corpses. Here's a good store for a melee character. We've got a lot of wands to choose from. Some of them are a little more expensive than others depending on their charge. But we're not going to waste the money on it yet. We're going to take a look around first. You can always come back. Scroll of enchant weapon. It's probably better to save your enchant weapon scrolls. Okay, in this situation, as a Minotaur Berserker, you really have limited options for strategy, and mostly you'll be relying on your Berserk. So that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to, I might pass a turn and let those guys get a little closer, tank a little damage from the orc with the trident there, and then we're going to go to Berserk and we're just going to tear right through them. There we go. We can sacrifice the corpses when we're berserked. And I probably should have saved one to eat. We need food badly. I'm just going to look around the dungeon. No, we're going to have to eat something. Let's eat this apple. Now, I'm not too worried about the two-headed ogre. We're going to try and take him out without going berserk. And we had no problem. And again, there's no problem with those guys there. Going to eat that orc. And off we go. Again, let the Minotaur get close to you. Or the ogre get close to you. And you'll get the first strike. There comes a point where you get extremely powerful as a Minotaur Berserker. And at that point, and I'm almost at that point now really, but at that point, let's just eat this meat ration. At that point, it's easy to get overconfident, and that often kills you. And this is what we've been looking for, plate armor. Let's get that. Actually, we still have the fire dragon armor. First of all, we're going to read a remove curse if we have one. We do, we have 3. Actually, let's try the unidentified scrolls first in case they are cursed scrolls. Okay, that's immolation. And a scroll of silence. Okay. Now we're going to read remove curse. And let's take off this armor. Let's try the plate armor first. Now it takes a lot of turns to take off your armor and to put on plate armor especially. Our armor class has gone up to 15. Let's now try the fire dragon armor and see which is better. That's 13. I'm going to stick with fire dragon armor because it gives us a resist fire, and that's a very useful thing to have. And I think I'll just yeah, I'll drop the plate armor. So that has impaired our damage dealing ability just a little bit. We had +3 damage with that armor. But as you can see, nothing's really challenging us at this point. And we should be able to easily breeze through the lair as well. Okay. These guys don't prove much of a challenge. If there was an orc priest or an orc wizard here, even at this point I'd probably climb back up the stairs. As it stands, we're going to end up with 3 of them hitting us. Oh, here's a giant frog. Okay, I think I can still win this fight, but I'm just going to stay on the staircase just in case. And remember, we have our Minotaur reflexive ability. He will deal out a hit to anybody that hits us. At that last turn, I was swinging at the giant frog, and our reflexive headbutt killed the orc. There we go. No problem at all. Occasionally, you can do a search through the dungeon. I'm just searching for armor here, and we can just see what we missed. It'll show you everything that you've seen. I'll do a search for axe, and the best thing we found there is a hand axe, so we're going to stick with our battle axe. Again, weak enemies, they're not bothering us. There's a few plants there. It looks like it will be lair time soon. You will find, 9 times out of 10, you'll find the orcish mines before you find the lair. Aha, demons. Wow. The only one I'm really worried about here is the hell beast. That looks dangerous. Now if you put your cursor over a demon or a creature and press V, it'll say it looks dangerous, it looks very dangerous, it looks extremely dangerous, and it will give you some idea of its power in relation to your level. I think I'm just going to leave those guys alone for now. We have a hungry ghost coming after us. They deal no damage to you, but they make you hungry. It's better to take them out as soon as possible. I don't think those demons can get out. That was a foolish move. I just got surrounded. Now it's time for Berserk. We're going to take these guys out as quickly as possible. We don't want to get smitten. I was aiming for the orc priests first. And now we'll sacrifice these corpses and chop this one up. And rest. We can come back here later and start blasting these guys with a wand to get some extra experience, but right now they're trapped. There might be some treasure in there or something, but we have no choice now but to leave them alone. Phantoms at this point are no problem. Again, you just get a... oh, wow. That would be a nice find as a deep elf, but we are not a deep elf. And that's always the way it is. Whenever you play a deep elf caster, you're going to find a full set of plate armor on the first level. And when you're a Minotaur, you find spellbooks all over the place. It's very annoying. I read somewhere that Trog appreciates it more if you don't even bother to look at the spellbooks. I'm not sure if that's true or not. So we're just going to burn them. And off we go. Let's take a look at our potions. We've got a lot of unidentified potions, and that's very bad. Unfortunately, we have very few identity scrolls. We found hardly any. So it might be worth considering. Oh no. Okay, there's an invisible horror. Best tactic here, he's not going to hurt us as much as he would hurt a deep elf or a character that's a lot weaker. I'm going to try and make for that little alcove here. They hop around like bats. Okay. Oh, it was a sky beast. Okay. It was just the sky beast that turned invisible. I thought I killed him. No invisible horrors yet. Okay. That's another dungeon level done. And there's another hungry ghost. The danger of hungry ghosts is when they start making you hungry and you're already hungry, you become starving, and that gives you a massive 2-hit penalty and slows you down, and you fight far less effectively. So when you throw in a hungry ghost with a bunch of other enemies that are all hitting you, and you get to starving status, that could be a death sentence. So it's usually wise to target the hungry ghosts first in that case. Down we go. We've got some whites there. I'm not sure what the best strategy here is. I'm not worried about anything aside from the whites. I'm going to duck around this corner, and I was hoping for a little alcove there, and that's exactly what we got. There's a warg. There's another one. Okay, this is Orcish Mines. There's the entrance to the Orcish Mines there. That was a bit of a bad tactical error, walking into the unknown and getting surrounded like this. We have no place to channel the enemies. I'm going to take a step to the northwest. I'm going to start fighting the wargs. They're going to gang up on me 2-on-1. We can always go berserk. We're going to fight it out for a little while. And one more step back will channel them effectively. Now it looks like that white behind the white I'm currently fighting has a battle axe. That might be better than the battle axe I have. I'm just fighting slowly and watching for any signs of draining. A hill giant is coming after us now. I hope to fight off the whites before the hill giant comes, and I did. We'll let him come to us. Oh! Okay, at this point we're going berserk. And we're too hungry to go berserk. In that case, it's time to flee. In the old versions of Crawl, the enemies would keep up with you. In this newer version, and I think the previous version, there's a random chance that they might fall behind you or catch up to you. So running away is a little more... Oh, he caught up to me. And I pulled ahead of him. So running away is a little more strategically viable now. Okay, he hit very hard. We're going to go down another staircase. There are 3 staircases up and down for every level. Sometimes there's hidden sections of the dungeon, so if you don't find a staircase, there might be a hidden area. Okay, we're poisoned. Just for fun, let's activate Trog's Hand. And we're starving. We're going to eat a bread ration. And sacrifice these corpses. There's another white. I took a misstep there. Okay, that white is hitting us with a spear. We've got an orc warrior bearing down on us. We're going to back up a little bit. We're going to step down and try and get out of the range of that orc priest. Okay. Luckily the orc priest disappeared. I'm going to attack the orc priest before the warg. I'm taking some damage. I got smitten, but we managed to polish them off. At any point during that, and sooner is usually better than later, I could have gone berserk. But I was fairly confident that I could win that fight. Again, a lot of it is just experience. Now I'm going to let him come. I'm going to try and fight him without going berserk. He got a really lucky, or the other one got a really lucky hit on me and did a massive amount of damage. But I'm pretty confident at this point that I'll be able to take those guys out without employing berserk. Enchant armor. It's a nice scroll to have. There is a bit of a sticky point with the Minotaur Berserker when you're fairly weak and the enemies start to get strong, at which point you have to be careful. We're at kind of a cruising stage now where everything's fairly easy. Things will start to get hard again. Okay, we just got a god gift. I didn't see that. You can always do a search in the dungeon for God gift. Sometimes they appear when you're in the middle of a battle and you don't notice you got them. So this is our first gift from Trog, a ruined broadaxe. Broadaxes are a little less damaging than the battle axe I have. And I think it's a two-handed weapon as well. Can hit multiple enemies in an arc around the wielder. Oh, it's a one-handed weapon. Okay. But so technically the axe I have now is better. But this one is ruined, so it's got a special quality to it. Let's try it out and see what it is. I bet you it's anti-magic. No, a broadaxe of freezing, and it's +5, +2. Okay, we're going to be using this. Yes, that works very well. So this probably does more damage than the last weapon we had when you take into account the freezing and the attributes it has. So I'm just going to let all these guys come to me. Now they're going to try and gang up on me. I'm going to back off, funnel them through here, and I'll just get one shot and then they're going to double up on me. Now it's berserk time. And these guys are good to eat too. Unfortunately, they didn't leave any corpses. I'm going to rest up, and we're going to eat this one here. Butcher the yak, and we're going to sacrifice everything else. I kind of wish this axe was a battle axe. But what can you do? It's an excellent weapon for now. We will get better weapons. It becomes a little difficult to choose what weapon you're going to use for the rest of the game. It's best to hoard all your enchant scrolls until you make that choice. But there's always a chance you'll get a artifact weapon. And you end up carrying a broad assortment of weapons, one for every occasion, sort of. When you have a freezing brand on your weapon and you're fighting reptiles, it happened a little while ago. Okay. This jelly will degrade your weapon unless it's enchanted. And when it's enchanted, I think around +4, the jelly won't be able to degrade your weapon. However, he might be able to degrade my armor, but I'm not sure. We have fire dragon armor. I'm not sure if he can. So I'm just going to fight him carefully. Nope, he didn't do any damage to my equipment at all. Okay, here's a troll. They're generally fairly difficult. They hit very hard, they hit very fast, and they regenerate fast. Nevertheless, he's easy to take out now. Time to eat something. We'll eat that snake. Okay, a hydra. He's only a 4-headed hydra. When you fight hydras with a cutting weapon, they grow a new head each time you hit them. Let's see if I can demonstrate that. I'll let him come. 4-headed hydra. He's still a 4-headed hydra, and he bit me 4 times, it looks like. You see, he gained another head there. That makes them extremely dangerous to fight. And I don't know what I'm doing fighting him. We're going to back off a little bit. We're going to try and go berserk, and that will generally do enough damage to take him out. Now he's a 6-headed hydra. Now he's a 7-headed hydra. And luckily my freezing brand is slowing him down because he is reptilian. So at least his attacks are slowing. Ouch. Come on, die. He could easily kill me here. He's a 9-headed hydra. Okay. That was pretty close. If you have a fire brand on your weapon, they will not grow extra heads. My axe will do no extra damage against an ice creature. And to reward myself for that hydra fight, I'm going to eat some permafood. It probably would have been wise to run from that hydra and perhaps take him out with a wand or something. I have not trained up my evocations yet. My fighting is increasing very quickly. I might turn that off and get some evocations. I'm going to turn that and armor off, and we'll get a little bit into evocations so we can use our wands more effectively. We're certainly collecting enough of them. Sacrifice. As you can see, I'm poisoned, but I have 94 hit points. I'm not too worried about a little bit of poison right now. Here we have a treasure trove. These are difficult to get into. You need, for this particular one, 16 potions of curing, and then you'll be able to get into it. That actually might be viable later. How many? I don't even know how many potions. Oh, we have 6, so we need 10 more. If we find a shop, we might be able to buy a few, and potions of curing are a lot more necessary for a weaker character, especially when you have Trog's Hand. Also, with that Hydra, I could have summoned brothers in arms to help me and maybe surround the Hydra. I should have ran out of that narrow hallway. I could have summoned 2 maybe. It would have cost a lot of piety, but we would have had a lot better a chance. So I didn't take the best tactic with that Hydra at all. I kind of wanted to demonstrate the heads growing, and it didn't occur to me that that could have easily led to my death. So we must be getting close to the lair now. We've passed the Orcish Mines. You might be tempted to go into the Orcish Mines first, and you can. I wouldn't go down more than a couple levels. It's just generally that the Orcish Mines, you can find yourself in a fairly dangerous situation there. Okay, Skeletal Warrior is a bit of a checkpoint here. Those guys are extremely tough. We're going to get back on the stairs, and I'm not going to pay any attention to the orc. We're gonna try initially to fight him without going berserk, but we may have to. Does he have a reaching weapon? Okay, let's see what we can do here. Okay, we're winning. And I don't know where that guy came from. I guess the skeletal warrior reanimated the dead there. Okay, let's continue searching for the lair. Yak zombie, nothing to worry about. We've got a water moccasin, an orc priest, and an orc. The orc is nothing to worry about. The water moccasin hasn't seen us yet. I'm going to take one step back and wait. Okay, they're all coming. And this is an open area, there's no chance to funnel them. We're going to charge them and go berserk. We'll try to take out the orc priest without going berserk. Okay, there we go. Now it's time for berserk. We're going to go for the orc warrior first. There we go. And our headbutt actually took care of the moccasin. Sacrifice the corpses, and onward we go. Something invisible is coming towards us. I don't know what it is. It was an orc wizard. I just guessed that he was in that direction, and I was correct. A centaur. We're going to have to charge him. Just to demonstrate, I'll throw up brothers in arms. Oh, I failed to use the ability? What? I had a 1% failure chance? There we go. He'll charge. He's berserk, so he'll be moving very quickly, and I think I'm getting hit by an invisible horror. At this point, I'm worried. I'm going to invoke Trog's Hand here, get some regeneration, and we're going to have to figure out where this invisible horror is. I guessed it was down and to the west, and I was right, but they move around a lot, and now I'm wrong. Unfortunately, this is an open level. Oh, I hit it again accidentally. They float around very quickly. Not a good situation. I'm going to take a look around the dungeon, see where the stairs are. Oh yes, all three of them are there. Okay, we're far from the stairs. We've got an invisible horror. We still have a decent amount of hit points. We're being regenerated. So I'm going to carefully try to walk back towards the stairs and hope that... Oh, my troll's getting hit constantly. It's hitting us. It's still hitting us. I think it's going after my troll. Yes, it is. Okay, I know where he is now, so I'm going to try a Wand of Cold. Is the most powerful wand I have identified. And we'll just blast it through. We hit him. Let's continue to run. And now we've got more trouble. Oh, and there's the entrance to the lair. Unfortunately, we've got some beasts to the east, and we've got an invisible horror somewhere to the west. Probably the best option now is to get to the lair staircase and just dive right in. So I'm going to summon another brother-in-arms. I failed? I can't believe that. Okay, he should distract pretty much everybody. Ooh, this is not looking good. Do I have see, it's at this point where you really regret not having your potions identified. I have to get out of this situation somehow. Do I have a blink scroll? I do have a scroll of fog and 3 scrolls of teleportation. I'm going to invoke teleportation. I'm getting hit badly here. And there's nowhere for me to go. I'm going to take a step directly to the west. Ouch. Okay, I've got 1 hit point left, but I should teleport the next turn. I have 7 orange potions. I'm going to guess those are heal wounds, and I'm going to take a chance and try one. Yes, it was. Wow. Okay, that was close. And that was a lucky guess for the potions. I'm hearing shouts, and I am liberally using my god powers here. I'm going to get Trog's hand back on, just in case that invisible horror comes back. You can see I'm regenerating health pretty quickly with every turn. There's our brother-in-arms, and we'll let him fight it out there. He did some good damage. We're going to get another one up. I'm going to tell him to attack the wounded one. We're going to eat a small bit of food. We're going to go berserk. And we just got out of that situation. Keep in mind the invisible horror is still around. I'm going to move right to this wall and try to heal up. And I don't mind at all eating a meat ration. That was a sticky situation, but keep your head and you see that you always have options. An archer statue. I'm just going to leave him alone for now. There's some killer bees. We'll stand here and get them as they come around the corner. Luckily only one saw me. They always come in packs and they poison you, but being a Minotaur, they're pretty easy to take out. Oh, and I'm getting hit by the invisible horror again. We must take out this orc priest first. And these orcs. I have no idea where he is. I'm just going to go to the staircase and hope he doesn't follow me down. If he does, no, he didn't. Okay. So we've entered the lair. We must remember that we have an invisible horror at the exit to the lair. Hopefully, and most likely, I have a few unidentified rings here. I'm hoping one of them is see invisible. You can see how annoying those invisible horrors are if you don't have any option. The only thing that saved me was some good tactics there and my armor and hit points. So that will be it for now. This video has run a little long. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.